Hello and welcome to Nan Loves Food. I am Nan, and today we're gonna give these Blue Apron meal prep kits a try. So when I found these online a while back, I was very curious because the meal prep thing is not easy, and sometimes you just want it to be, you know? So I thought it was interesting. So today we're gonna make all 8 of the dishes that are included in this box. All I have done is when I received the box, I opened everything up and put it in the fridge or wherever it needed to go. So yeah, it's actually 4 different meals with 8 servings total. So today we're gonna make steak and arugula green bowls. We're gonna make a Mexican shrimp salad, a steak and summer vegetable salad, and a smoky spiked shrimp and barley salad, or bowl, I guess you'd call it. So it says it's gonna take 90 minutes to prepare all of this and have basically 4 meals ready to go, which is amazing if this all works. So I'm excited to give it a try. I'm gonna take you along with me. The only thing I have done other than put everything in the refrigerator is I went ahead and hard boiled some eggs because we had people over yesterday, and so I made deviled eggs and just went ahead and hard boiled my eggs. I am making a handful of substitutions because I am gluten-free, and this is not a gluten-free meal kit. It is a carb-conscious meal kit, so if that's your jam, if you're looking to stay lower carb, this is a really good option for you. Barley is not gluten-free. It actually contains gluten, so we're gonna substitute that with quinoa. And there are a couple of things that I just need to leave out, like crispy onions that came with the kit. I think those are the only 2 substitutions I have to make. So yeah, we're gonna give this a go and see if we can actually get this done in 90 minutes, which is really a challenge, right? It says that the first 15 minutes are unboxing and planning, so maybe 90 minutes is an overestimation? We'll have to see. So I'm just gonna follow step by step, and I'll take you along with me, and we'll see if this actually takes 90 minutes to prepare. And then of course we'll check and see if the food actually tastes good, because those are the 2 things that really matter, right? All right, let's get into it. So I'm going through this, and one of the things that I see that I like already is that it tells me exactly what kind of storage containers I need. So it says I'll need 8 large containers and 8 small containers, which is a lot of storage containers. That's 16. So I'm not sure that I actually own that many, so that'll be interesting. We also need a knife, cutting board, mixing bowls, wooden spoon, spatula, strainer, sheet pan, medium pot, large non-stick pan, and a whisk. Holy cannoli. We're gonna see if we can minimize some of that as we go along. That's way more than I normally cook with. All right, so here are all of the things that came with the kit. We have this adorable little container of eggs, which is so cute. We have lettuce, and this is broccoli, some tomatoes, 4 ears of sweet corn, some arugula, all different kinds of bibs and bobs in here. Got some guacamole and some various things. The only thing I'm very concerned about is this does not look like enough protein for my husband and I for like basically an entire week. So this is supposed to be 4 full meals. So it's only 2 of these steaks. So we'll see if that ends up feeling like enough. And then a package of shrimp. Yum. So we'll give this a go and see how it is. Here's our ingredient list. It is currently 5:16, so we're gonna see if we can do this in 90 minutes. Ready, set, go. Here's the spice blend we'll be using for the shrimp. Okay, it says to pat dry with a paper towel. So all we're gonna do is take a non-stick skillet, season with salt, pepper, and the spice blend. I'm just gonna use my Evo oil sprayer. Put that in an even layer. Let that handle itself. So it's supposed to cook for 2 to 3 minutes without stirring. So we're getting close. I'm just making sure we're all in one layer here. And while that is cooking, we are going to get the quinoa ready to go. So I'm using 1 cup of quinoa, and we're just going to use a fine mesh sieve to strain it. So we're just gonna use a 1.5 cups of water, and I'm actually gonna make this in the Instant Pot rice cooker. Here is Instant Pot rice and grain cooker, which I absolutely love. I will link that down below for sure. We're just gonna throw the quinoa in. And this actually has a quinoa button. So we're just gonna push that. And there we are. Back to the shrimp. We've definitely given it a couple of minutes to cook. We're almost cooked through. Just giving it a little stir. And I have to say, it smells delicious. Okay, and I would say we're pretty close to done here. I'm gonna go ahead and turn off the heat. Okay, so this is kind of funny. The next step, for step 2, is to prepare the remaining ingredients. Isn't that kind of what we're doing here? So we're kind of preparing all the ingredients. That's all the steps, right? Oh well. So we are going to So in real life, I would never dirty this many bowls just to do a meal prep. Nectarine. Mm. All right, so I'm reading the instruction and it says to roast the broccoli for 14 to 16 minutes, but it doesn't give me a temperature. So I would imagine for the average home cook, they would be like, ah, what do I do? So we're gonna go with 400, see how she does. I'm using the Costco Himalayan pink salt. Tossing these with extra virgin olive oil and salt. I could have gone with a slightly larger pan, but you know, I wanted to keep this in the toaster oven, so I don't have to actually heat up my kitchen and the giant oven. So if this needs to roast a little longer because of that decision, so be it. I do appreciate that it told me that I need to season my tomatoes, which is true. I do need to season my tomatoes. So we'll put some salt and just give them a little toss in here. Again, I'm not dirtying another bowl for these people. They're out their mind. I'm not doing that many dishes. Seasoned tomatoes. So the next step is to get the corn off the cob, including all the fur and all of that. it doesn't actually mention how to do that. So I think the presumption is that you've got a pretty decent amount of culinary knowledge here, or that you're familiar with these ingredients. So I grew up in the Midwest. I know how to deal with some corn, but I'm not sure that all home cooks know how to deal with fresh corn. Like, corn comes in cans and from the freezer. So, you know, I guess they're presuming that you know how to get corn off the cob. So I guess, and if you don't, you can just Google it. In this day and age, why not? But if you haven't done it before, you just take your ear of corn, make sure it's relatively flat at the bottom. They did a pretty good job of that for us here. And just put it in a bowl and head on down. So to cut a head of romaine, you just want to kind of chop the top half or so into quarters. And then just cut relatively even pieces all the way through until you get down to about there. You don't want to get too far into the heart. Broccoli is roasted. So next we are supposed to sear the steaks for 8 to 10 minutes for medium rare. So as that was cooking, the rice cooker had beefed. So we have all of our quinoa in here ready to go. And we're actually supposed to mix this with lemon preserves and then the broccoli. So I'm just gonna do all of that here in the Instant Pot rice cooker. It's actually called the Instant Zest Rice and Grain Cooker. And I absolutely love this thing. It's been awesome for me. So we are just going to take this gorgeous roasted broccoli and dump it straight in the pan. And over here it looks like the steaks are just about done. I'm going to sear that one on the side because it was looking a little raw over there, but otherwise I think these are just about done. Now I've got these searing at a very high heat, so I'm going to turn this down just a little bit. We're supposed to cook the corn in here next. This might actually be a skosh over, but they're going in salad, so whatever. And this is a little under, so I would say. Okay, so we're gonna let those rest. And then this specifically says to take all of these yummy bits. I'm gonna throw just a little bit more oil in there just because my pan got really hot. And it wants me to put my corn in the pot. Along with that garlic that we reserved. It did say to season with salt and pepper, so I'm just going to do a little bit of salt here. And that is just about done cooking. Alright, so we have the preserved lemon puree, which I'm very excited about. It says it is preserved lemons and salt. Okay, well, can't imagine that would taste bad. I'll give you a little time update while I'm putting this in. It is currently 6:15. So I've been doing a couple of things kind of at the same time as other things. So like I was cooking the steak while the quinoa was cooking, and I was cooking the broccoli while those other things were cooking. But I don't think there's any way that this would take anywhere near 90 minutes to do. Which I have to say I'm super impressed by. I don't think I said it at the beginning of the video, but this is not sponsored in any way. This was just my own curiosity. I wanted to see if this could actually make my meal prep easier. Like on those crazy hectic weeks that I can see my calendar like imploding in front of me. Like if I can catch this and have delicious healthy meals ready to go so that we can still eat well even when the world is falling down around us. That seemed like a really good deal for me. So this is awesome so far. I'm very impressed. So there's our broccoli. And this is still pretty hot, so I'm just going to set it on the stove behind me. Okay, it said that I was supposed to cut the steaks already, but we're not going to do that because I don't want the steaks to bleed all over everything. Oh, and I'm supposed to put the tomatoes in with the corn. So it actually said to do this in the bowl that the tomatoes were in, but obviously that's not going to work. But the pan is cooling down, and I don't care if my tomatoes get a little cooked. Cooked tomatoes are delicious. So this is kind of the end of one of the side dishes. There's really not anything after this for this part. Now, of course, if you see any little corn hairs running around in there, you can grab those out. I've kind of been doing that as we've gone along. But this looks delicious. I'm excited about this. Yum. Now we get to make the sauces, which I'm very excited about. So this should be the most fun and most interesting part. This is the part of meal prep that like is a struggle to come up with sometimes. So you can see we're making a mess here, but you know, that's part of the fun. So goat cheese balsamic dressing. So we get the cutest little balsamic dressing in the world. We're gonna whisk together this with goat cheese, 2 tablespoons of water and salt and pepper, and that will go on our steak and arugula grain bowls. So that will be our broccoli and quinoa mixture with some steak and some arugula. And then we're gonna pour this over the top. So that sounds delicious. Oh, it's like a creamy goat cheese. So, creamy goat cheese. One of the things I will say for this kit is it really does have you season every step of the way, which is one of the things that I think home cooks forget to do so often, is that seasoning step. It's so important. You need salt and pepper at just about every step. And I'm going to use my not at all a whisk fork. And I'm just gonna eyeball 2 tablespoons of water. All right, that looks a lot like the picture. I think we're good there. Dressing 1, done. Dressing number 2, guacamole ranch. So we have guacamole and we have ranch. Hey, look at that. I'm so glad these are gonna fit in these little bowls so far. I'm very happy that that's working out. And again, I don't think it's super important to like get these super combined before you're ready to eat them. Could I have made my life easier by getting a bigger bowl? Yes. Was I willing to dirty another bowl to make that happen? Absolutely not, not even close. So if I can minimize a dish, I'm gonna do it. Okay, there we have guacamole ranch. I will admit it looks a little healthy, but I'm sure it tastes delicious. Actually, I can confirm it tastes delicious. Very yummy. Okay, for the Mexican shrimp salad, so the guacamole ranch goes with the steak and summer vegetable salad. So that's what that goes with. I am not sure that one of these little containers is gonna work for all of this yogurt. So this is yogurt, and then they sent us this beautiful looking cilantro sauce. So I think I might have to get a different bowl. All right, we'll just do the jelly jar here because we've got that handy. So it came with this cilantro sauce, which looks like cilantro and olive oil. I don't know if there's anything else in it. All right, that looks delicious. Okay, that definitely needs some salt. It's good. Very cilantro forward. If you think cilantro tastes like soap, do not make this dressing because it tastes like cilantro. I understand that's genetic. So I personally love the taste of cilantro, but I cannot do black licorice. So I got the yes cilantro gene and the no all of the anise flavored things gene. Okay, so the Mexican shrimp salad gets the cilantro yogurt sauce on top. So that should be amazing. I can't imagine what's not to like there. And then finally, our last sauce requires a little bit of warm water. So it says 2 tablespoons. We're gonna eyeball that because you know, this is for the smoky spiced shrimp and barley. Man, that's hard to say. Smoky spiced shrimp. Ooh, tongue twister. All right, so we have some creamy mustard sauce, they're calling it, that we're gonna add. And then basically we're just adding honey to this with our warm water. Anytime something like this specifically calls for water, I would always recommend putting the water in first because the water is not gonna stick to your container, but the honey most def will. So even if you're making like pancake mix or whatever, highly recommend that you go ahead and put the water in first because your life is gonna be easier. You can thank me later. So this said to zhuzh your honey a little bit here. Specifically, it says to knead the packet. So I do absolutely love these little packets. I'm sure they're not, you know, the best for the environment, but we'll recycle around here, so not quite as bad. But none of this is like stuff that you couldn't come up with on your own. The sauces are really what makes this cool. So the honey went straight to the bottom, but because that water is down there, you don't have a globby honey mess that you then have to clean up off the bottom. Well, I will say doing this in glass containers was very wise of me, although I had no idea what I was doing. But it's nice that I can see that there's still honey at the bottom. All right, sauces are done. Now we can just, I think it's just cut up our steak and assemble our bowls. Man, this was easy. I was really expecting this to take like legit 90 minutes. It's nowhere near that. Assuming you can do more than one thing at a time, which I think most people can. Our steaks have had some time to relax, chill out, pull up a chair. And the advice here is to just go against the grain. I do think I overcooked these just a skosh, which is my fault, not their fault. Oh, not bad. So we're just slicing against the grain. At the beginning, I was worried that this wasn't enough protein. I think it is. These are lovely little fillets or whatever this is. So they don't appear to be very fatty, so I'm assuming that they're a fillet. So you might notice that I'm having a little bit of trouble here with my cutting board sliding around. That is a common occurrence and particularly makes me nervous when I have my plate up here. So what I'm gonna do to stop that from happening is to just put a towel underneath. But there we go. And now we won't slide anymore. I am cutting it at a slight angle, kind of on the bias, which is not necessary, but I think it makes a nicer looking cut and kind of helps me get and keep my slice nice and thin, which is what we're gonna want for like a bowl salad situation. The other thing is I might recommend that you cook these a little under what you would otherwise cook them, because more than likely you're gonna be reheating it. I knew this steak was a little under. I'll make sure to put this in the one of the ones that we reheat so it's not quite so blue. But I think that'll be fine. All right, that's it. It's time to assemble. Okay, so step one is the arugula steak and grain bowl. So I think we're just going to take about a quarter of that there. So this is my only cheat. I had these done from a party yesterday. Just didn't seem to make sense to do it twice. Just making those salad sized. All right, I did wash my lettuce. My salad spinner is MIA. Haven't found it since we moved. Definitely need to get another one of those because life is not okay without a salad spinner. My life requires a lot of salad. Okay, so we have that, and then we're gonna do some of the corn and tomato goodness. All right, so here we are with all of our finished products. We have this absolutely gorgeous looking steak and arugula green bowl. We've got the quinoa that I substituted. It was supposed to be barley in there, but I'm sure the quinoa will be delicious with the balsamic goat cheese dressing. We have the steak and summer vegetable salad, which in their picture, they didn't cut up the egg, but come on, we're gonna cut up the egg, right, to eat it. That one gets the guacamole ranch. Yum. Here we have shrimp smoky spiced shrimp and barley, but again, we substituted quinoa because of the gluten factor. That one comes with the honey mustard. And then finally the Mexican shrimp salad, which has the nectarines and corn and tomatoes with that cilantro yogurt vinaigrette. So there we have it. The time is currently 6:52. So we did pretty good, I'd say. All right, so overall, I think we would have been right about an hour if Gizmo hadn't had to take so many potty breaks. But you know, that's life. So overall, I'm really impressed. You know, I think the thing that this really takes care of for you is that thinking piece. And to me, there are some weeks where you just don't have the wherewithal to think of things like a cilantro yogurt dressing. Like that's just not gonna come to mind like, oh yeah, I know. So to have all the ingredients there and ready for you to go, this just makes it super easy. I think I'll definitely order this again and I'll share it with you guys when I do, because I think we can always use more ideas for meal prep. You know, it can be really hard to come up with this stuff on your own. So I'm gonna go ahead and give the salad. So I'm gonna have one of the shrimp salads for dinner tonight. Just one of the best tips I can give you for meal prepping is to always figure out what you're gonna have for dinner on the night that you're meal prepping, because there is nothing worse than to spend a whole day or a whole bunch of time making food and then to walk away hungry. That is so lame, so lame. So Matthew won't touch the shrimp. I'm gonna eat the shrimp and I'll let you know what I think. I don't often love fruit with my savory food, but shrimp can be an exception. There we go. There is my dinner for tonight. The shrimp with the nectarines and cilantro lime vinaigrette with that really delicious sweet corn and tomatoes. Yeah, the seasoning on the shrimp is good and smoky. It's got a really good flavor to it. It's got like a paprika-y, cumin-y kind of situation happening, and it's really, really good. The cilantro yogurt is very cilantro forward, so like I said, if you do not like cilantro, definitely skip this step. But overall, it's a good dinner. I'm gonna go finish this. Thanks for tuning in today. Appreciate you being here. If you like this comment, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not already. And if you wanna see more of this type of video, let me know. I'm all about the meal prep and making weeknights easier. So for us, you know what we're having for dinner this week. It's already done. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time. Bye.